back with another breakdown. Today is Thursday, January 9th. I'm going to be breaking down gold today. I'm going to be breaking down US30, and I'll even throw in GJ as well. I think GJ is forming a little better structure, so we may have an opportunity going into today's session and then going into next week. So it's not going to be a long video, but let's hop right into it, man. And I'm going to also be breaking down in gold the trade opportunity that I was looking at last night. So for those that have been watching my videos all week, we know that gold has formed an all-time high at 27.90, followed with a lower high opportunity at 25.40 based off this monthly time frame wick. Now when we go from the monthly to the daily, we see here that once the monthly formed that wick at 25.40, it followed up with the lower high and then followed up with a higher low. Now the higher low is what we want to pay attention to on this daily time frame, because overall structure is still bullish. So us getting a daily higher low gives us confirmation that we can be looking for buy opportunities as long as that main level of support maintains off of the daily time frame. So we have this daily level of support marked off as the new higher low point. We had price try and break it, came right back up and kind of like consolidated within this area, still forming a minor higher low based off like that initial lower low point here. So we go from your daily to your 4 hour. Now along that daily higher low point, we have 4 hour structure give us a bullish transition and begin to form bullish structure. So we have this resistance break, then we have price respect this resistance as support, as well as respected this daily level of a higher low again, and it tested it. So once we respected this area of resistance as support, we could be on your smaller time frames to target this area for a bullish transition to then begin to execute based off your 30-minute time frame to see structure shift and see if we can find those entry opportunities to then begin to execute positions to the upside. Now these green random lines that I have drawn here are areas of interest that I would be targeting if we are able to get into buy opportunities. So these would be my TP areas. So if we were to pretty much execute within this area here at 26.35 area and catch those buy opportunities early, then we can target 26.60 and so on. But the overall area that I am targeting for buy opportunities is going to be these 2700 levels, just because of the larger time frames. So daily time frame gave us that higher low opportunity. So if we have a daily higher low, I'm going to be expecting to target the high or a higher high point. So the next high point is at 2700. So let's go back to our 4 hour time frame. So we see off of our 4 hour time frame, we are clearly trending bullish. Once we got that bullish transition completed, we then came to target the high, and we did test that level, followed with another higher low. Price maintained support, and we made our way back up to this area. So in yesterday's session, along this area, I did try and execute early buys along, where was it at? Okay, it was right in here. So I tried exiting early buys in this area here, which failed, and I did take a small loss. But once we seen price form support off this 30-minute time frame right in here, this would have been a better area to wait for, to target. So when I was creating my video yesterday and I entered those Asian session buys, it was a little early. So if I didn't have that initial level of support that formed right in here, right here, I would have been expecting price to come back lower to maybe come target this level of support to actually have an area to buy off of and place my stop loss below. So the correct entry would have been to wait for support level to establish, or wait for this support level to get hit and to remain tested. So once this one tested, I could have waited for my time session to click over, which would have been 10 p.m. and then waited for that initial buy opportunity to execute if it was presented to me. So we're going to play along this level. We see this area get tested at 8:30 to 9 o'clock. We had this this bullish candle close. It wasn't an engulfing and it wasn't a variation, just based off of that follow-up candle exhausting at this support. So once we got this 30-minute candle, let's see. Okay, so once this 30-minute candle clicked low and then we had this bullish follow-up, could have been on like your 15-minute time frame tracking buyer pressure. So once we had this break above, I would have been in this trade here with my stop loss here for 31 pips. Or if you want to be a little bit more conservative and want to give your trade time to breathe, just in case price did want to retrace and maybe test support again, then this would have been a more ideal stop loss, which is valid as well. And then you could have targeted the highs. This would have been a nice 1 to 1.7 R to R trade. And then for those that may have sniped this entry, you would have maybe bettered, not even maybe, you would have definitely bettered your odds. So you have like this 5-minute variation here, 5, 10, 15, closed at like 10 o'clock open, and you had these bullish candles. You could even got in somewhere here, but let's say you got in right off of this 5-minute variation. That actually was a little sketchy, so honestly I would have waited for this 15-minute candle close, and then I could have even just did this just to better my R to R and my risk. And then price would have came down to my entry point, danced a little bit, and then we eventually hit my TP to this area here. The next targeted area would have been somewhere around 26.75. Based off 15-minute time frame, you could have even had a TP set at like 26.73. But if we're just playing level to level, this would have been ideal. You would have caught a 1 to 2.7 R to R, which is beautiful. So this is the buy opportunity that I executed off later in session after taking the loss. So yeah, that put me up on the day for those accounts. Now going into today's session, what I'm going to be looking for, we see here that we are strictly bullish. So now that we're maintaining above this level of resistance right in here at 26.63, resistance, now as long as this level maintains as support, I will be buying to then target 26.75 and potentially go further to the 2700 levels. I know we have no news today, but we do have NFP tomorrow morning, so that is something to be mindful of, because price can consolidate up to that point. So my buy zone is going to be right above 26.63. As long as this area maintains and gives me a bullish transition based off of my 15-minute time frame, my 5-minute time frame, gives me my confirmation candles off of my 15-minute time frame and my 30-minute time frame, then I will be executing with my stop loss below those levels, and I will be targeting the highs. Now if we so happen to miss this entry and price wants to just shoot up from where it's at, then I will be looking for something like this to then target the highs, and then I would just let it be and try and target 2690 to 2700. So this is going to be my bias for the day. It's going to be buy opportunity strictly off of gold. So now let's go to US30. So now US30 yesterday, I'm not going to spend too much time on this pair, but for those that watched my last video, I pretty much explained that we are still bullish. Based off of your daily time frame and your weekly time frame, we are pretty much getting a higher low opportunity. So the last few weeks have been a little bit bearish, but we have been getting a lot of sellers exhaustion. So that exhaustion is pretty much showing that sellers are getting weaker at this point in time in the market, and buyers can be stepping in at any time to then push this market up. So for the past 3 weeks, we have been showing a lot of sellers exhaustion. Daily time frame has been maintaining this level of support. We haven't really had a bullish engulfing or any significant candle that can give us that clear way to then get to the upside. So what I will be waiting for is for your 4-hour or 1-hour time frame to still respect these 42,200 levels and then give us a bullish transition, making it a lot more clear that we're going to get that push to the upside. So once we get above even like 43K, then we have a lot cleaner traffic to then push to like 43,300, 43,400, and potentially hit 43,700, because that is our last lower high point that was formed here before we had this major sell-off. So what I will be looking for US30 is for price to give me some sort of higher lows to form in this area, and then I will begin to execute and look for buy opportunities. As long as price gives me clean price action, then I wouldn't mind executing buys to then get up. Of course, it's not going to happen like this, but I want to see something very identical where we see that buyer pressure build up along this daily support level. So this is going to be my US30 analysis of buys along this support, buys as we begin to break above 42,750, and then so on. So let's go to GJ. GJ, we have our monthly high at around 208. We have a monthly high. After we had that monthly high, we had monthly time frame wick like 180, 250 as an area of interest for a support. Let's go to our daily time frame. So daily time frame. Okay, so let's do this. So once we had that higher high, higher low, we had price push up, maintain this lower high point, and then we had a higher low form right after. So what we can be targeting in this area, price seems like it's kind of in like a weekly range. Then we have resistance right in here, hold that support. So just based off of overall structure and the direction we're heading, we're still bullish. So as long as we maintain above this weekly level of interest at around 191, 500, I'll do another like 191 flat. As long as this support holds right in here, then we could definitely continue to see buys to the upside. And then 199 is going to be our key level to break, to then begin to hit 200 and then the higher 200 levels. So we're going to go from the weekly to the 4-hour time frame and see exactly what price is doing right in here. So we have our main higher low structure level right in here. This is our main higher low level. So as long as this area holds, we can definitely still see a bullish transition along this support to then get to the upside. Now, let's see. Yeah, that's even a daily level of support. So this is also a daily level of support, as you guys can see here. We'll just mark this off in red since this is a daily level of support. So as long as this daily level of support holds, we can see a bullish transition on your smaller time frames. That can potentially give us confirmation to get to the upside. If we don't get that and we continue to form lower high points based off your smaller time frames, and we get bearish transitions, then we could definitely see a sell-off back to these lower levels of support, first targeting like 193 and then lower. So based off your daily time frame closed bearish with a lot of sellers exhaustion. So this could potentially be an indication that price can start getting weaker at this point in time to then get us a new daily candle bullish close. So from your daily time frame to your 1-hour time frame, price is strictly bearish. So let's see how we can execute this if we were going to go into today's session. You do have a lower low point that got broken here. You do have a lower high. And this is a perfect area for perfect area of confluence for anyone that may have been looking for sales. Boom. Let's see, maybe even in here as well, you have this point here. Support, resistance. Yeah, so let's see in this area here. Yeah, so what I'll be looking for based off GJ, if I'm going to be targeting for buys, I definitely want to see higher low points form. At this point in time, it looks like my bias should be sales just because we are barely approaching that daily level of support. We are barely showing any sign of exhaustion. Daily time frame closed bearish. So if I were to be targeting this area, honestly, I will be looking for sell opportunities. That's a 23.6. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely be looking for sales on GBPJPY. It just makes more sense. Now we can definitely target sales along this level here. So we have support, and then we could potentially turn and find this level as resistance, which would be a level of confluence with our 38.2, which will be another level of confluence with support turn resistance. And it could happen along our QP level of 195,500 to about 195,250. And for the most part, based off this sell off that we are getting, we have had confirmations with these transitions. So you have support, resistance, and then you have it again, support, resistance. So I would just expect the same thing here with support and then resistance, and then we could catch that sell back into that daily support, and then hopefully that new daily candle gives us seller's exhaustion. But if we do happen to get that bottom wick first on that daily time frame, then we could potentially see New York or even like late London give us a bullish push to that 38.2 to potentially break it and then target our next fib level, which would also be in confluence with our last lower high point on this sell-off that we've had since we have touched 199 up here. So hopefully that makes sense for sales. Yeah, man, that's going to be my breakdown for gold, for US30 and GBPJPY. Hopefully those made sense. Hopefully you guys could take something away and apply it to your guys' trade session today. But if you guys watched it this far into the video, I appreciate you guys for watching. I appreciate you for supporting. Hope you guys have a blessed day, man, and let's make some money today, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.